In this video, I head to one of my favourite beaches on the South Devon coast for sunrise, catch a tasty spider crab, meet an unexpected friend, and show you how to prep a crab for lunch. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's jump in. So we're down at the beach this morning. It's about 6:30. Just taking a look at the visibility. The conditions look great, so excited to jump in. So as we start to swim out here, quickly dunking my head, and as you can see, the visibility looks great. And as I make my way out to deeper water, about 6 to 8 meters here, we can still clearly make out the bottom. Now, the plan for today, being this dive in late May, is to hunt for spider crabs. In early spring, spider crabs come out from deeper waters to breed on the south coast of Devon, and that in absolute abundance. And they're not commercially viable because they're a bit of a pain to deal with, a bit fiddly to get the meat out, which makes them super sustainable too. So, on these first couple of dives here, I'm sort of diving down with a torch, looking in crevices, just to sort of see any signs of life. The interesting thing about spider crabs is I find the males tend to just sit and chill on the bottom, but the females tend to like hold on and being like kelp, holding onto fronds or burying themselves. Just swimming along here, doing a couple of dives, just looking on the sand. Because the viz is so great, I can kind of scan from the surface. And as I'm sort of cruising along here or just chilling doing my breathe up, I'm just sort of seeing one thing I've never actually seen before is like flatfish. So I'm trying to find sort of outlines for flatfish, along the edge of the reef here. And getting impatient with that, I decide to do a dive to have a closer look at the bottom. And as I swim along here, something catches my eye. Something I've not actually seen before. If you look very closely at this image here, you can see the outline of a ray. And now as I'm breathing up again, slowly cruising over the sand, what I can make the outline of is a spider crab. So I dive down to take a closer look. As I dive down and pick up this crab, underwater things often look bigger than they are, right? So I think, okay, great. As I get into the surface, I kind of realize, bring it up on my flow and just, thinking about it. Because as I said at the start, picking the meat out of these fellas is kind of a challenge as it is. So getting something that's just in size isn't really worth it. So I throw him back. So now I really want to find a spider crab to take home for lunch. So, I do a couple of dives here, really sort of poking around. And I spot this one on this rock. Now, I've mentioned at the start of the video when I spoke about the sort of male and female behavior, this is a classic case of where I tend to find females just sort of buried in rocks here. Now, look, you could take a female, but I often find, with the amount of work it takes to sort of get the meat out of these crabs, the females have a lot smaller claws, and it's just a lot of extra work, really. So we push on. And as I take this dive down, right, towards the end of this session, just sort of really scanning the sand under rocks, I noticed this really decent size male under this ledge. So upon returning to the surface, I decided this is a really nice one to take home for lunch. Decided to head in, find Emma, and head back to the car. Right, okay, so we've got the crab back home now, and the great thing about crabs, you can kill them before cooking them. So I've just lifted up this flap here and stuck a screwdriver in there, and then its legs are gone floppy, and now I've got this pan to a rolling boil. So now we can just plop him in. Might twitch a bit, but that's just nerves. And then I'm going to set the timer now for about 15 to 18 minutes. And then when it's done, it should be a nice red colour. So I've just cut it in half, and now I'm going to take the whole head comes away, look. And then you're left with, you know, this whole half that's got all the edible stuff inside. And just pop that there, and then they've got the other side here. And these here are the dead man's fingers, so we'll remove those. But then, you know, I'll just pull these legs off, and then these sockets actually go all the way back inside, so you get loads of meat in there. So I've spent about half an hour picking out the crab, which is a lot of work, but yeah, we've got a nice crab salad. Vegetables picked by Emma from the garden. Let's give it a try. Mmm.